Hello everyone, E here. Welcome to yet another LEGO Hogwarts video. As usual, looking forward to your comments regarding all the details in this update. Well, it's time to start on the Gatehouse, the last piece of this whole construction of the Great Hall. Let's do it. Okay, little break. Actually, I've not really been doing this in one go, but let's show you what I've done so far. So I have taken the top side of the roof on both sides and pulled this a little bit forwards, just show you a little bit better, and removed the stairs. We have them over here with the new pattern shown last time. So I decided to add a layer of tiling, just like with the stairs, so whatever is here can be attached to these 8 studs here, and another 4 here, and it shouldn't move in any way. So then I decided to do the stairs. Now here is for comparison over here what the stairs are in the old version of the Gatehouse, and the steps will be, well, I never went to add texture actually to these stairs because I didn't really like them, because over here we have this kind of low ceiling, just had no way to fix it back then, just so we have this entryway on both sides, which I will try to replicate. It looks good from here, but as you can see over here, it's kind of a low ceiling. My camera doesn't want to focus over there, but this problem is still present here. Not as much, but this will have another layer here of tiling, similar to the other stairs, so it will raise by another plate. But something that I'm planning to do and try, because these pieces here, this here and this here, they are not movable, they're actually set in stone into the framework. I could kind of raise this archway a little bit higher maybe, and maybe win another brick and a half, which will increase the distance basically of the, make this ceiling not so steep or short or whatever you want to call it. So that will probably improve it, so I can do that. I don't know if I'll do it now. Really kind of want to focus on the gatehouse instead of doing these little cosmetic things that I can do at any point. It has been a little bit hectic. I don't know how much I will be able to do, but anyway. Then after that, I decided, well, let's actually show you what I've done. Now, this is what we have here. Now, this big bulk of brick, which will probably not shatter at all, even if I throw it against the wall, is actually not hollow at all. It is pretty heavy, and I decided to go with that. There is a lot of bricks in there, a lot of plates, mostly tan because they have a lot of tan pieces. But the idea is for this to be kind of the floor of this module, because this thing, like the stairs, will need to be, I need to be able to pick it up and remove it without it falling apart. Some of these vegetation pieces here get into the way when I want to place the stairs. But yeah, imagine this whole thing here needs to be picked up without the, well, very certain danger of falling apart. It's pretty big, and I decided this initial ground of it needs to be pretty heavy and sturdy, so when I pick it up, usually with both hands from the bottom here, I can be very confident that it will not shatter. Now, of course, the parts after that, basically these two columns over here and here, will probably still be in danger of shattering, but the way it is now with the old texture, it's still very sturdy. Like I am shaking it violently, and I mean, if I really push it with force, it will probably break somewhere and fall apart, but it's pretty sturdy. Like even without all the supports here and everything here basically gone, I managed to pick this whole thing up and it didn't break. So I was a bit scared actually that it would, but it was fine to move this around the room or across the room. So yeah, the point is this is not hollow. It's actually pretty heavy already. So with this in mind, I was really careful to connect the stairs to keep the two plate increments here. Now I have some indicators here where the floor should be, where some other things should be, but basically the idea is you pick this up and you can easily slot it over here like so, and it will stay put. And if you look from here, the stairs look fine. Same on the other side. And I have started to place some texture here, like the indication of the columns. So now what I will be doing is putting the last stairs here and then raising this a little bit higher. So basically we get to the flooring, we get to this part here with the dark tan tiles, and the stairs reach over here to this level, and that same level will be the level over here of the inside. So those dark tan tiles should be the same level as this floor here. And then we'll work on the windows here, or at least the framework here, again with the patterns here need to be kept. Now over here maybe these decorations here will be a little bit different, but I'm not really sure I'll get there in time for this video. So anyway, just want to show you my thought process so far and how far I've gotten. This actually took quite a bit to do because I wanted it to be sturdy, and also the stairs I needed to kind of calculate how many bricks they are from here to over here. Need to calculate how the texture will be here, so we have this line to align with this line here, and then this line will have to align with the reddish brown line over here. And I need to be careful to keep the increments of bricks, because we can't really, if for example this is a bit too tall by a plate or so, I can't really add a row of plate, which I could have done before the old texture, because here we can't have a row of plate simply because the texture will be ruined, the pattern. So I have to be careful with that. So yeah, it's a lot of things to kind of keep a track of. But now that this is done, I will try to get to the flooring and see how much time I have to actually start raising both sides, and maybe think at least a little bit of how to make these windows, type of windows over here. So that's it. Okay, so here is where I'm at so far. This is the module. As you can see, it's pretty sturdy, pretty heavy too. Must be like 2 kilograms, I think. A lot of bricks and plates in here, but it was very important to be sturdy. And the colors over here are terrible, but it doesn't matter. This is not going to be visible. So as you can see, I have reached to the point of the floor, and I even added over here the decoration for the entry into the gatehouse. Now, one thing that I did, that's why I'm holding it in my hand like a special person, is this entryway. Now, obviously, these stairs connect to the stairs over here pretty well, and the gap is 2 plates of each step, and we're gonna have some texture, probably like this one, at least for the time being, which will raise it by another plate or tile, whatever you want to call it. And then in the end, the last step really has the the same texture as everything else. Now, what I'm really glad that I did is the arches here, because before we used to have kind of this over here, this kind of very steep ceiling. You see how steep it is. Also, it's very ugly because it has this rectangular shape, and even with a little bit of imagination, it's kind of weird to imagine that there is a space for a minifig to walk in. But this way it's actually pretty good. Now obviously on this side also it's pretty good. You can see the entryway is good enough and it seems to be polished enough, so I like it. And also when you slot this in, this archway here is not visible, so that's pretty good. Now let's see if I can actually place this with one hand into its slot. Now it's kind of weird because I think I need two hands, but let's try it out. Now obviously I maybe don't want to drop this straight away, but it might work. Okay, we're doing it, kind of. Something is wrong. There we go. Okay, so just need to press a little bit and it's into its slot. Now maybe with one hand I can slide it in, maybe. Okay, over here we're fine, and over here I think we're fine. There we go. All right, now as you can see, the floor is the same level as this, which was the idea, so pretty good there. And now a lot of things are not done, but I simply just don't have time to keep going for the time being, so I will tell you what is about to happen. Now over here, these pillars, let's go back to the old version while it's still standing. I use these simple pillars here, which this time I'm going to try to do, well, differently. Now one thing that I have really learned from mocking all these years since I started this project is, ideally, you shouldn't be looking for pieces that really represent what you're looking to do. You should be looking, not one singular piece. You should be looking for a combination of pieces to create what you're looking for. So here I'm applying that. I will try to use several pieces to make one pillar instead of just one piece. Now what I'm thinking of doing is using a bar here, and then on this brick which is inverted, and to go here without actually connecting. Not sure if that's an illegal technique or not, nor do I particularly care, but that's what I'm planning to do. Now, since the whole castle now has this texture here, obviously that is not applicable everywhere. For example, over here in these slopes and inverted slopes, we have nowhere except maybe here to place any snots in order to apply texture. So same with over here with these little towers that are on both sides. And what I'll be trying to do, and even going back to old sections which I've finished, is to try to add texture in a way that just is different than this. Wherever I can't apply this texture, I will be going back and trying to use different pieces like this one here, these 1x2 bricks or something different, to apply some kind of texture so these bland sections don't really stick out so much. Now over here I am leaning towards currently leaving it like this. Once everything is finished, we will see how it looks in contrast with everything else. Maybe I will see it in and judge it's fine, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. Now it was very important to make these steps here and arches and really get to this point, which actually took a long time to do, but happy that I managed to get there and pretty satisfied with the way the entryway is on both sides. And also what I did is I actually did go back and fix these sections here which are not removable, these 4 studs. So I removed a lot of the garbage here and actually move the arches a little bit upwards. So even when you look from here, there is the ceiling is fine. It's not too steep. So this way, it actually even makes sense, even though most of the time nobody will see this, but I will know that it's actually fine. One other thing is that the design here is a little bit different now. Before we had more space here. If you notice on this side, there's a lot more space back here, which allowed the gates to open. And as you can notice, I have removed the gates currently because they're in the way. Now, many people in the past have said, well, the gates open inwards, not outwards. That is a good point, and I am aware of it. However, at the time being, it wasn't possible to implement these gates to open inwards because the hinges were on the outside. So whatever I have to do is maybe put the gates on the inside so they can open inwards, but then they will not look at the same way as the gates in the films, because ideally the gates should be inside here, not behind or in front. And if they're half hidden, it doesn't seem right. Like the gates need to be on the same plane on this stud here on the front. So what I will be trying to do once this foyer, or not foyer, the gatehouse is finished, I will be taking apart this whole section here. Now remember, before in the old build, this was actually implemented into these pillars, and it was a big nightmare. But as you know, this whole thing up to here is removable very easily, so I can work on it, and I will be doing that also to fix the texture here to blend in, obviously. But I will work on the gates. Probably the design will be the same because I'm really happy with this design. I will just try to make them differently, try to place them over here inside, which kind of has its own difficulties because this arch shape can't ever be replicated with the shape of up here, which is, yeah, a problem. So I will try different things, maybe delve into one stud here so it's kind of into this row but not on the front. I will try different ways to hinge the gates into the walls, not this way here, which I didn't really like to begin with, but was the only solution at the time. So I'm just giving you a preview kind of what I am thinking about. So also over here, the bars, I don't have them in tan. They need to be in tan. So I will be ordering some whenever they get here. I will place them. So yeah, I actually didn't have much time to build again, but I managed to do quite a bit more than I was thinking of accomplishing. So I'm pretty satisfied. I might sit down and do some texturing, for example, the stairs inside, or something else along those lines, but that will be all for this update. Now, anything else that I would like to add? I'm not really sure. Yeah, maybe over here the texture can be added now, but just no real point. I'll probably do it when doing all the texture here. Yeah, one other difference. Before, these two, so these two pillars were right next to this big pillar, as you can see from over here. And I never liked that because that's not the way it should be. The way it should be, there should be a gap. So that's why I left one stud here of distance on both sides. That means that this section here is now 8 studs, used to be 10, which yeah, I thought it would be maybe a problem, but looking at it, it actually doesn't matter too much. I feel like this entryway, this triangular shape, is still wide enough. I was worried maybe it would be too short when you look at it, but I feel it's still fine. So that's good. And yeah, next time I will continue with over here and building the windows. I will get to this level here. This window needs to be the same level as this window, or basically any other row of windows. And we will try to figure out how to add such a window instead of these windows over here. Now before, as you can see, I removed this row here, but in the inside there is another row. So basically we have windows on the outside and on the inside, so 4 windows in total. I'm not sure I will be going with that next time. maybe just an outside window on both sides. Doesn't seem like there should be any reason for something else, but maybe that will change as I get there. And yeah, pretty much that is all. Well guys, what can I say? Another week of building, another 2 weeks actually of building are gone. The progress is there. It's not as much as maybe some of you would have preferred, but actually I'm quite satisfied considering I didn't have much time to build during this period. But still, another video within time. These videos every 14 days or so really push me to build, even when I don't feel like it, or even when I don't have much time. So for those of you that really have problems with mocking, or maybe just can't find the motivation, something like this really helps if you have the right mindset, of course. Now, as I mentioned, not the foyer, but the gatehouse will continue next time. I'm hoping to get as far as possible. I'm kind of doubtful that I will get to the very end. I'm pretty sure I will run into some part problems because I'll be trying to add different textures and some kind of different techniques. I don't really want to rebuild this thing there the exact same way. I want to improve it wherever possible. So I'm kind of taking my time, kind of going easy, thinking about stuff, and actually even while building this I went back a couple of times to change some stuff, and I believe it was for the better. So once again, thank you for watching. If you feel like you enjoy this type of content, please subscribe and smash that like button. Leave a comment if you want to add some feedback, whether it's positive or negative. I really appreciate all that. It really helps for this channel to get more visibility and exposure out there. Once again, you will see me in the next 2 weeks or so with another update of this project. Stay healthy, keep building, and bye for now.